Olivia, do you have another family gathering this weekend?
A family gathering? You mean with my in-laws? I don't have anything planned, but why?
I got a call yesterday from Mr. Johnson to make a reservation, so I figured you'd be coming along too.
Oh, really? I haven't heard anything about it yet.
Whenever Mr. Johnson comes to Nocturne, you're usually with him. Maybe they just forgot to tell you.
Maybe.
If you're coming, I'll let the staff know.
Okay, I'll check with my mother-in-law. I'll reach out as soon as I know.
Got it. Let me know once you find out.
I appreciate it, Dad. Not just for me, but for giving discounts to my in-laws and being so considerate. It really means a lot.
Olivia, you're my precious daughter. Your family is like my own, so you don't need to thank me. Besides, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters to me.
Thank you, Dad, but really, it's such a big help. Oh, by the way, Elena mentioned recently how much she's been enjoying Nocturne. She seemed really happy about it. Looks like she loves the place.
I mean, she used to come pretty often, but I don't think it's been that frequent lately. Unless you're with her, she doesn't come that much.
Really? She seems to visit fairly often. And isn't Nocturne a pretty upscale restaurant? Honestly, sometimes I worry she might be overextending herself, especially since her husband is just a regular office worker.
Well, knowing her, she probably likes flashy things. Coming to our restaurant might be a status symbol for her. We actually get a lot of customers like that.
You think so too? I was kind of getting that vibe. Maybe she just wants to show off.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if it's pushing them too far, that's a bit concerning. Well, everyone has different values, so it might not be our place to judge.
Yeah, you're right. She probably has her reasons. But like you said, I just hope she's not overdoing it.
By the way, Olivia, you and Jake still haven't officially done the marriage introductions or family meetup yet, right? Which means your in-laws don't know that Nocturne is my restaurant.
That's right. The last time when we were supposed to meet, you suddenly had to go on a business trip, so we had to postpone. Jake's mom only knows that you run a restaurant, but I haven't told her it's Nocturne.
I see. Well, this could be the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, I've been thinking it's about time I introduce you to them too. If we all meet at Nocturne, I could let them know you're the owner.
That sounds like a good plan. I'll make sure I have some free time during the perfect moment.
Wait, are you sure? Isn't that during your busy hours? You don't need to push yourself.
For you, Olivia, this is nothing. Besides, as your father, it's only natural for me to show your fiancé my restaurant. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Dad. I'm looking forward to it too. Hey, Elena, do you have a moment? I wanted to check about the plans for this weekend.
What is it? I'm busy, so make it quick.
I heard from Jake that you've made a reservation at Nocturne for Saturday. Am I included in the plans? Did someone let me know? Sorry if I forgot.
Huh?
What?
How do you even know about that? I didn't invite you.
Oh, really? I thought I was part of the group. It's a family gathering, right?
Yes, but do you already consider yourself part of the family? You haven't even had the wedding yet.
That's true, but we've already registered our marriage. I think of both you and your husband as my family.
Family? Just because you're married, you're acting all high and mighty. So arrogant for someone so poor.
That's not my intention at all.
Well, if you want to come, go ahead. But someone as uncultured as you is embarrassing. Just stay in the background, okay? And it's fine if you only eat what's left over.
Why would you say something like that? Didn't we all go together recently?
That was supposed to be a family introduction. But your family didn't even show up, did they?
I'm sorry. My dad had an urgent matter he couldn't avoid. He had to swing by one of his other restaurants.
Yeah, I've heard that story already, but I don't care. Honestly, I don't think you even have a father, do you?
What? What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, maybe you've been lying this whole time, and your parents don't actually exist. That's why you can't introduce them, right? Or maybe they're just so poor you were too ashamed to invite them to such an upscale restaurant.
Elena, that's rude. I have no reason to lie about something like that. If you don't want me to go, I won't. Though that might make the bill a little higher for you.
Well, if Jake is coming, you might as well come too. Even if you're poor, it's better than raising suspicions among the relatives. Fine, you can come.
I see. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I think I'll finally be able to introduce my dad this time. What do you think?
Sure. Not that someone like that really exists.
Why do you insist on acting like I don't have a father?
You can't hide it. You reek of poverty, you know that? The cheap clothes, the same old bag, and those worn-out shoes. You're the perfect example of someone struggling with money. Even when you try to wear expensive-looking accessories, you can't cover it up. And honestly, Olivia, you don't seem like you're good with money. You probably don't have any savings, do you?
I've never considered myself poor, and I'm not struggling financially either. I just don't feel the need to focus on clothes and bags. Please don't impose your values on me.
Oh, is that how you justify ignoring reality? No matter how you spin it, your family doesn't seem well off. Even during that pre-wedding family introduction, your father didn't show up. Or is he just too poor for you to feel comfortable introducing him?
My dad couldn't make it because of work, that's all. And regardless of my family's financial situation, I support myself just fine with my own income now. Speaking of which, Elena, are you sure it's okay to frequent a high-end restaurant like Nocturne so often?
What? What are you trying to say?
Are you from a wealthy family by any chance? It's just that your lifestyle seems so different from your husband's, and I found it a little curious.
Looks like my classy vibe couldn't stay under wraps. Yep, I was totally born to be a socialite. My sense of style, my spending habits, they're on a whole different level compared to yours, you see. My husband's role is to work hard and bring in the money. My role is far more important, spending that money gracefully and with elegance. So yes, it's only natural that I'm a socialite. It's destiny, really. We live in completely different worlds, so don't get the wrong idea.
Sorry, I don't understand a word of what you're saying. Anyway, I'll be attending this weekend, so I'll look forward to it.
Just don't come looking all poor and shabby. You'll lower the value of the whole group, you know?
Got it. Elena, this isn't what we agreed on.
What? I'm about to enjoy a lovely dinner, so could you stop calling me incessantly?
What's going on? I was told there's no seat for me, and then I was told to wait in the restroom. What's going on?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Olivia. I really didn't expect you to come, so we didn't prepare a seat for you. My apologies.
What? What do you mean? I confirmed with you that I'd be coming, didn't I? When you told me not to come dressed poorly, I even bought a new branded dress just for this.
Well, this was originally a gathering for our relatives. You've only just married Jake, and you haven't even had the wedding yet. Let's be real. A fancy restaurant like this isn't really the right spot for someone with your budget. Are you trying to embarrass our family in front of everyone?
I can't believe this. I even asked Jake, and he just gave a vague smile and brushed it off. What am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to just leave after coming all this way?
That's right. I guess you'll just have to leave. There's no seat for you after all. And maybe you can wait in the restroom until we're done. It's embarrassing enough to have someone like you here in such a prestigious restaurant. It's disrespectful to the other guests. So stay out of sight, will you?
This is too much. Saying something so cruel. I've had enough. I'm beyond disappointed in you and in Jake for not standing up for me.
Oh, really? So what are you going to do about it? I can't believe you think you fit in at a fancy restaurant like this. You wouldn't even appreciate the food. Your poor taste can't handle anything refined. So don't eat and don't even stay here. Get out of this restaurant, you beggar.
Just to let you know, this is my family's restaurant.
Huh? Don't lie, you loser. I never liked your face to begin with. Take this as a lesson and go home. Never show your face here again.
Okay, are you sure about that?
Of course. Don't ever come back, okay? I'm sick of seeing your cheap-looking face.
In that case, I'll make sure we never cross paths again. I'll no longer consider you family or a relative. Is that what you want?
Do whatever you want. Jake already has a backup option anyway.
Backup option? All right, I'll leave for now. Just so you know, this will also be the last time you'll ever be allowed in our restaurant. Enjoy your final meal here. Oh, and it'll be at full price.
Olivia, where are you right now?
I already went home.
Then come back immediately.
Huh? Why?
The owner just said something strange to me. They said if you're not here, the bill will be $40,000. I don't really understand. Do you know anything about this? What's going on here?
I think it means exactly what they said.
What? What do you mean? Why would it cost $40,000 if you're not here? It's never been that expensive before, and I don't get why your absence makes any difference. The bill shows an astonishing $40,000. And when I said it had to be a mistake, the owner said something odd. He told me, the meals were previously covered by the person who accompanied you. But now that my daughter isn't here, you'll need to pay the full amount yourself. Wait a minute. Daughter? No way.
Oh, you just figured it out now? The owner's been pretty clear about it from the start. I'm the daughter of the owner of Nocturne. That's why, up until now, the bill was reduced by what I covered and the discounts my dad gave. But this time, it's a large family gathering with more people, so of course, the full amount is going to be high.
Wait a second. Are you really the owner's daughter? As in, the daughter of this high-end restaurant? Then that means you're not poor at all.
I don't think I ever said I was poor, did I? I believe you were the one who jumped to conclusions. I did try to correct you, though.
But you never mentioned it outright, and I thought, I just assumed you were an orphan or something, and, well, I was being cautious.
Jake should have explained more clearly, but he probably stayed quiet because of your pressure and attitude. As usual, I suppose. My mother passed away 5 years ago. Since then, my father and I have worked hard together to get to where we are. But I never thought my marriage would end in failure like this.
Wait, failure? What do you mean? Look, I get it now, so can you just come back?
Why should I come back?
I can't pay $40,000. If having you there makes it cheaper, then just come back, okay? You wouldn't want to worsen things between us any further, right?
No, I think I'm good now.
What do you mean by good?
I'm not going back. I'm not paying for you, and I'm thinking about getting a divorce.
What? A divorce? What are you talking about? You just got married and registered your marriage. Divorce is embarrassing and I won't allow it.
Whether you allow it or not doesn't concern me. Now that I'm no longer attending the family gathering, I went home to pick up some of my things, and guess what? There was a young woman there.
What are you talking about?
I was surprised too, but it turns out Jake was cheating on me.
What?
I never expected her to show up right outside the house. She was looking for Jake's place and ended up here. We ran into each other. I didn't think I'd meet her either. During our conversation, she revealed that she and Jake had been seeing each other even before I got married to him. She didn't know he's married to me though, but apparently she was aware he was two-timing. Now I understand just how awful a person Jake really is. I didn't want to think about divorce immediately after registering our marriage, but it seems I can't avoid it anymore.
Divorce? Over Jake's cheating? That has to be some kind of mistake.
Unfortunately, it's not. And as of now, I won't consider you family or a relative anymore. You also won't be eligible for any more discounts at Nocturne. In fact, my father has decided you're banned from entering the restaurant altogether. So go ahead and settle your bill, and don't ever go back there.
What? What are you talking about? Are you seriously expecting us to pay the full $40,000?
Of course. That's the amount for what you consumed, isn't it? Why would you think you can just leave without paying?
No chance we can cover that. Who's got that kind of cash just lying around? Even my husband is panicking. He's usually so calm and collected, but now his face is pale and he's trembling.
Your husband is really unfortunate, isn't he? Thanks to your spending habits, he's been struggling nonstop. He works hard from early morning until late at night, doing his best to provide for the family. And yet, all his hard-earned money is taken by you. Designer bags, luxury spa treatments, useless jewelry. He works himself to the bone just to buy you what you want. Don't you think you should be a little more grateful?
Shut up! What would you know? I'm the queen of this household, so it's only natural. My husband's whole purpose is to make me happy. Earning money and buying me what I want is just what he's supposed to do.
The queen? Don't be ridiculous. Your husband isn't your personal ATM. He has a right to use his own money as he wishes and deserves some financial freedom. But all you do is live in luxury off his earnings while contributing nothing.
But my husband never complains.
He can't complain. You've trained him to tiptoe around you, unable to say a word. I'm sure Jake grew up the same way, constantly watching your mood. That's probably why he's so indecisive and unable to express his own opinions. It's also likely why he turned into someone who cheats and juggles relationships without thinking. But his life is no longer my concern.
What? How dare you talk about him like that? It's not his fault. It's all your fault.
No, I don't need to hear any more of your excuses. Jake's infidelity and your wasteful spending habits are no longer my problem. Well, excuse me now.
Wait, what about today's bill?
That's not my problem, old lady. Figure it out yourself.
What did you just say?
You eat, you pay for it yourself. Even poor people understand that much. Bye now, you shameless old hag.
Wow, that customer was a total nightmare, huh?
Dad, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Anyway, are you back home now?
Yeah, I'm home for now. I'll need to go back later to get my things though. Honestly, I don't want to deal with them anymore, so I'm thinking of hiring someone to handle it for me.
Do that. If you need help, I can step in for you.
Thanks, Dad. But I make enough on my own to handle it, so don't worry.
That's true. You're just like your mom, strong and dependable. You're independent and successful in your career, so there's really nothing for me to worry about. But as your father, I'll always want to be there to support you.
Thanks, Dad, I know. If I ever need help, I'll make sure to let you know. Oh, by the way, what happened to Mr. Johnson? Did they pay up?
Ah, In the end, he paid part of it with his card, and then they had to beg their relatives to pitch in bit by bit. His wife was furious and made a huge scene, though. But when I mentioned that I'd have to call the cops if they couldn't pay, she finally calmed down.
Has it escalated that much? That must have been rough. I'm really sorry.
Olivia, you don't have anything to apologize for. That family was just a mess. So what's next? What are you planning to do now?
It's disappointing since we just got married, but I think I'll have to go through with the divorce. I should have introduced him to you properly beforehand. But with Grandma's health declining, I rushed into it thinking I needed to get married and show her how happy I was. And now it's come to this. I'm so sorry.
Divorce isn't the end of the world. If this is the decision you've made, then it's the right one. I should have taken the time to properly assess that guy before the marriage, too. I was caught up with the preparations for the overseas expansion, and for that, I'm sorry. I should have made more time for you. That's on me.
You were abroad, Dad. It couldn't be helped. I never thought he'd go so far as to cheat on me, though.
Wait, what? Cheating? That punk actually had the nerve to pull something like that?
I wasn't planning to mention it, but it just slipped out. Still, I'm not bothered by it anymore. Honestly, I think it's better I found out sooner. Otherwise, I might have dragged out the divorce unnecessarily.
That's true. It's better to cut ties quickly with a guy like that. I have a lawyer friend who's excellent with divorces.
That'll be a big help. Thanks, Dad.
Olivia, please reconsider. Getting all emotional like this isn't a good idea.
What's all this about all of a sudden?
Are you seriously going through with a divorce?
Yes, the process is already underway.
Aren't you embarrassed? You just got married and now you're talking about divorce. The neighbors will gossip, you know. You should make up and move on.
This is because you want us to refund the $40,000 you paid, isn't it?
What? No, that's not what I'm saying, but, well, yes. I'd be happy if you returned it. We're family after all. We were both just upset that day and things got heated. In reality, it was something that didn't need to escalate into such a conflict. I admit throwing wine at you and kicking you out was wrong. I didn't know the restaurant was your family's place, so I misunderstood and acted terribly. I'm sorry for that, but charging us $40,000 was pretty cruel, wasn't it? Both my husband and I were humiliated, so let's just call it even, okay?
Even? I don't understand. Let me make this clear, as it seems there's been some misunderstanding. That bill reflected the actual cost of your dining, including the private room reservation and other fees. Neither my father nor I added anything extra out of spite. At a high-end restaurant, you kept ordering like you were at a cheap bar, ignoring everything we told you and continued eating and drinking without care. That's on you, isn't it?
Well, but it's always been cheaper before.
That's because my father, out of kindness, offered complimentary drinks when I was with you, which made it cheaper. On top of that, I was the one paying for it. I have a career at a major corporation and can afford to pay for myself. I was covering it because I thought it was for the family and didn't mind. But now, you're not family anymore. Don't misunderstand that.
Not family? You're saying that again. Why not just make up already?
There's no plan to make up, and the divorce has already been finalized.
What? Seriously? Divorcing over just one instance of cheating? How much humiliation are you planning to bring on yourself?
Well, according to the specialist I consulted, it wasn't just two-timing. Jake had 2 other girlfriends. Apparently, he hinted at marriage to all of them and then picked me. He isn't remorseful and he'll probably keep doing this in the future. That's why I'm filing for alimony, not just for myself, but on behalf of the other women who didn't know he was married.
What? Alimony?
Looks like the $40,000 you paid at our restaurant might not be enough. Jake doesn't seem like the kind of guy with much savings, so good luck covering it, you and your husband.
That's impossible. Even for the $40,000, we maxed out the credit card and had to borrow from other relatives. Now we're scrambling to repay it. My husband, who's usually pretty chill, is totally fuming.
Well, of course, he should be angry. It's your fault after all. My divorce from Jake is due to his cheating and your influence. But your husband's debt? That's entirely on you. So isn't it up to you to resolve it yourselves? Relying on me would be a massive mistake.
Wait, Olivia, I'm sorry. I truly regret what I did, but $40,000 is too much. We're in serious trouble. Please refund it. I'll even tell Jake to straighten up and behave. Please, I'm begging you.
Seems like you've realized your mistakes a little too late. As for Jake, telling him to behave won't do any good. Anyway, good luck paying off that debt and maybe start looking for a job. You called me poor and looked down on me, but now it seems like you're the one in that position. Work hard to avoid staying there.
Olivia, have you settled into your new life?
Yeah, the new condo is great. It's spacious and being on a high floor, the view is amazing.
I'm glad to hear that. By the way, has the alimony situation been resolved?
Yes, it seems like Jake's father ended up taking on the debt to pay it all off. But they might have to sell their house, so it's been tough for them.
I see. Well, it's the price they pay for what their son did. They deserve to face some consequences.
Jake and Elena were awful, but I guess Jake's father was a bit unlucky in all of this.
Still, that's their family issue. It's not something you need to worry about.
You're right. It seems like Jake has finally reflected on what he did, and even Elena has, well, reflected in a way. With no other options, she's working now apparently. The three of them decided to work together to pay off the debt. I hope Jake's learned his lesson though.
That's no longer your concern. Don't waste any energy on it. You've been through enough already. Let it go.
Thanks, Dad. Oh, about the restaurant?
What's up?
I've decided I want to officially take over the restaurant.
You've finally made up your mind? But are you sure about this? What about your current job?
I want to share Nocturne's charm with more people as a manager. Of course, I can't contribute through cooking like you do, but with the plans for expanding overseas, it must be tough to handle everything on your own. I realized I want to support you, Dad.
I'm glad to hear that, but are you sure you're not pushing yourself? Building your own career was always your dream.
I've built my career already. Now my goal is to grow our family business with my own hands. And, well, I want to show my gratitude to you for everything you've done. It might sound dramatic to call it repaying you, but...
Got it. Having you join me is reassuring. I'm counting on you from now on.
Yeah, let's work together and make it amazing. I resigned from the trading company where I worked and began working at my father's restaurant. Dad immediately entrusted me with managing the restaurant, and the experience I gained during my corporate career proved invaluable. Thanks to that, we achieved the long-held goal of expanding overseas. Nocturne even became famous enough to be featured on TV, which brought my dad so much joy. As for Jake and his family, they ended up selling their house and now live in a small apartment, scraping by as a family of three. Elena, who once proudly called herself a socialite, had to part with her beloved bags and jewelry to pay off the debt. Without the means for makeup or fashion, she has apparently become a frail, shabby-looking old woman. I doubt Jake's family will ever set foot in our restaurant again.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave us a comment down below. It means a lot to us. See you next time!